The inspiration for my work really comes from nature. It really comes from the world around me. Using natural materials is a big part of my work. And really, a lot of that was, things learned from childhood. Making leaf prints and, painting up leaves and then pushing them down to use them as stamps. And so I just, I go out and look around during different seasons to try to find out what's out there that I might be able to use. I print simple designs. I like the shapes because then I like to go into them with stitching and make the stitching another layer, another mark on the fabric, and using the stitching as a mark. If it's fabric, I love it, okay? I'm not so interested in making things with certain fabrics because they don't fit into what I'm, the designs that I'm looking for. Although since I've been working on the Canyon series, I find that I'm using rougher materials, less refined stuff, because the rocks that I'm making and those sorts of things are really, they're really different. That they require that kind of texture. I buy fabric whenever I see it and it appeals to me, anywhere I might be. I've bought it in the bazaars in Istanbul, I've bought it in the markets of Europe, in fancy fabric stores in Paris. I've bought it, wherever. I buy it from my local Joann's. There is a sort of bookcase thing that I built to put boxes of fabric in. And I just organize everything according to color. I really do the thread according to the spectrum. I want to see it all the time. I don't want to go hunting for a particular color of yellow that might be in a drawer someplace, when the color of yellow could be on the wall, where I could see all the colors of yellow at once and pick out the exact right one at that same moment. I like building layers. I like starting with a complex background. Then I like to add layer upon layer upon layer. And sometimes I'll have 5 or 6 layers of different kinds of silk screening, stamping, 2 or 3 kinds of stitching, and sometimes I'll actually do some fancy thread work that's laid on top of all of that. It's just another tool for creating something different. It's important to me that my work is part of what is used as an example for the change from the homely quilt that goes on a bed to the fine art piece that goes in somebody's living room.